You're so close.
Can you feel it?
Do you believe it?
That moment you've been waiting for, working for.
Lines scribbled and miles biked.
Equations balanced and essays typed.
Laundry and dishes done. Eventually. You questioned.
You answered.
Traversing an endless sea of coffee cups and Scantron bubbles.
Marking a quantum of study hours that before you thought was purely theoretical.
After all that, now you're about to graduate. Do you remember your first day? What it was like starting out? You did not know what you were getting into. But you said your goodbyes, you came ready for anything, and created a space for yourself. Amid new surroundings, new people,
New ways of thinking.
of seeing,
Of being.
You buckled down, made friends, laid in the sun next to oversized eggheads. You circumscribed campus on double-decker buses,
And along the way, found out what personal growth is.
At times you had doubts, maybe tempted to quit.
but with each struggle, you grew stronger.
With each setback, you grew more determined.
With each success, you grew confident.
Then came the ultimate test.
The coronavirus turned everything upside down and remote.
And yet, Aggies did what Aggies do in tough situations.
We persevere.
We look for solutions.
We take care of one another.
This is your world now. It's changed a lot in the time that you've been here. How will you change it?
How will you apply what you've learned here, out there?
Congratulations, class of 2021. You have so much ahead of you.
This is just the beginning of your journey.
Go forth,
Grow forth.
wherever life takes you, or wherever you take life.
May you find yourself always outgrowing expectations.
Welcome to Commencement celebrations at UC Davis. We are happy you are all able to join us. We should take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we are gathered. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: Katchal-Dehe Band of Wintun Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, Quetzal-Dehe Wintun Nation, and Yocha-Dehe Wintun Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands. Joining us today is Chancellor May, Provost Krogan, and various campus leadership. Thank you for joining us on this occasion. Graduates, families, and friends online watching from afar, we will now begin the processional. Go Ags!
David Anthony Tomasi, Master of Science in Computer Science. Elizabeth Flores, PhD in Education, advised by Professor Patricia Kinata. Kauzon Movangsu, PhD in Education, advised by Professor Julia Menard-Warwick. Elizabeth Morgan, PhD in Human Development, advised by Professor Aubin Stammer. Radhika Barka, Master of Science in Forensic Science. Rachel Reardon, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Kayla Williams, Master of Arts in Education. Lindsay Marielle Phillips, Master of Arts in Education. Nicole Tanay, Master of Arts in Education. Hutchison, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Jennifer Costa, Master of Arts in Education. Bryn Bo Levitan, PhD in Ecology. Michelle Boggood, PhD in Immunology, advised by Professor Rivka Isarov. Nancy Barrera Cisneros, Master of Arts in Education. Alyssa May Rafanan Kaalim, Master of Arts in Education. Sarah Gillette, California Teaching Credential Candidate. Samantha Hom, Master of Arts in Education. Monica Axe, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Victoria Rogers, Master of Arts in Education. Betsy Alford, PhD in Plant Pathology, advised by Professor Doug Cook. Sean Edward Arceo, PhD in Sociology, advised by Professor Jacob Heibel. Elizabeth Lakey Berg, PhD in Psychology, advised by Professor Jill Silverman. Heather Reed, Master of Public Health. Julian Lopez, Master of Public Health. Ariella Capuro Cohen, Master of Science in Biological Systems Engineering. DJ Darwin Bandoy, PhD in Integrative Pathology, advised by Professor Michael Wilkes and Professor Bart Weimer. Bianca Yahubi, PhD in Pharmacology and Toxicology, advised by Professor Pamela J. Leon. Jonas Kalsbach, PhD in Pharmacology and Toxicology, advised by Professor Pamela Leon. Eduardo Gonzalez, PhD in Pharmacology and Toxicology, advised by Professor Pamela Leon. Cindy Renteria, Master of Arts in Education. Derek Wadsworth, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Teresa Benetti, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition.
Christina Thomas.
Christina Marie Thomas, Master of Arts in Native. Jason Headington, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Matthew Nakaki, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering. Kelsey Savko, Master of Arts in Education. Shampavi Upadhyay, Master of Science in Computer Science. Sylvia Claus, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Emma Elkins, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Patrick Kirk, Master of Engineering in Materials Science and Engineering. Larkin Root, PhD in Animal Biology, advised by Professor Dietmar Kultz. Haley Callan, California Teaching Credential Candidate. Rachel Nickens, PhD in Sociology, advised by Professor Laura Grinstaff. Nguyen Le Khoi Nguyen, PhD in Electrical and Computer Engineering, advised by Professor An Vu Pham. Sheila May Cabillas Tolentino, Master of Public Health. Ashley Williams, California Teaching Credential Candidate. Sarah Howard, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Jared T. Shaw. Umair Gul, PhD in Horticulture and Agronomy, advised by Professor Daniel H. Putnam. Javier Ivan Vasquez Morales, PhD in Animal Biology, advised by Professor Trish Berger. Gregory Walker, PhD in Microbiology, advised by Professor Renee Solis. Karen Atkins, PhD in Hydrologic Sciences, advised by Professor Jeff Schlato. Jean Sabin, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Michelle Clausel, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Lila Marie Lockett, Master of Science in Textiles. Deanna Leigh Cudia, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor James B. Ames. Danielle Gilardi, PhD in Soils and Biogeochemistry, advised by Professor Daniel J. Geiseller and Professor Sanjay J. Parikh. Jelena Jezdemirovich, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Sadie Hennig, PhD in Animal Biology, advised by Professor Allison Van Enenam and Professor James Murray. Kelly Zacanti, PhD in Animal Biology, advised by Professor Trish Berger. Anjali Kalasi, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. McKenna Ann Pugh, California Teaching Credential Candidate. Valerie Yanez, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Miranda Brooke Townsend, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Ezgi Kurt, PhD in Economics, advised by Professor Alan Taylor and Professor James Cloyne. Zhongxing Xu, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, advised by Professor Kyle N. Crabtree. Trevor Church, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Tanya Johnblatt, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Tarani Ganjareddy, Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Katie Wright, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Naomi Mathu Macau Adak, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Jasmina A. Azordia, Master of Arts in Linguistics. Spencer Jones, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Dan Peters, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Stephen McGuire, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Marco Fanucchi, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Joshua Casper, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Li-Feng Wei, Master of Science in Statistics, advised by Professor Cho Jui Che and Professor James Sharpnack. Tangyi Tang, Master of Science in Statistics, advised by Professor Debashi Paul and Professor Thomas Lee. Shutong Hui, Doctor of Philosophy in Statistics, advised by Professor James Sharpnack. Shenyu Wei, PhD in Statistics, advised by Professor Thomas C. M. Lee. Brittany Miller, PhD in Microbiology, advised by Professor Andreas Baumler. Karen Holcomb, PhD in Epidemiology, advised by Professor Christopher Barker. Fabio Kamler, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Kimberly Marinelli, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Emily O'Brien, Master of Arts in Education. Geeta Malya, Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology. Marwa Zafarullah, PhD in Integrative Genetics and Genomics. Advised by Professor Flora Tassone. Jason Zhu, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Gia Holiday, Master of Science in Geology. Kazunori Machida, Master of Science in Biological Systems Engineering. Karina Makbul, Master of Arts in Education. Naela McQueenie, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Andrew Tu, Master of Public Health. Saja Eliadi, Master of Science in Computer Science. Heather Weiss, Master of Science in Horticulture and Agronomy. Robert Woodkey, Master of Science in Community Development. Hao Chen Lee, PhD in Applied Mathematics, advised by Professor Naoki Sato. Yiwei Zhu, PhD in Integrative Genetics and Genomics, advised by Professor Janine Lassell. Sungjian Fan, PhD in Electrical and Computer Engineering, advised by Professor Jerry Woodall. Shubham Pandey, Master of Science in Computer Science. Rohan Sogani, Master of Science in Computer Science. Shivan Mian, Master of Science in Computer Science. Alicia Marie Rodriguez, Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Ariel Alana Gervasi, Master of Science in Hydrologic Sciences. Dhruv Krishnan, Master of Science in Computer Science. Priya Holani, Master of Science in Computer Science. Novendra Novendra, PhD in Chemical Engineering, advised by Professor Alexandra Navratsky. Anusha Bangi, Master of Science in Computer Science. Jamile Mena Govella, PhD in Biological Systems Engineering, advised by Professor Gail M. Bornhorst. Fernanda Benoni, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Davide Donadio. Ryan Polashak, PhD in Physics, advised by Professor Rajiv Singh and Professor Javier Arzuega. Ainoa Vai de Cabres Inchaustegui, PhD in Animal Biology, advised by Professor Noelia Silva del Rio. Giuseppe Barbalenardo, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Davide Donadio. Nopmani Tejangam, PhD in Integrative Pathobiology, advised by Professor Dori Boreason. Minmung Tong, PhD in Atmospheric Science, advised by Professor Deb Niemeyer. Xingwei Li, PhD in Transportation Technology and Policy, advised by Professor Alan Jen. Michael Commodore, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Marissa Gianette Gonzalez, Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Engineering, advised by Professor Kent Leach. Jin Zhou, PhD in Civil and Environmental Engineering, advised by Professor Sashi K. Kunath. Jingwen Zhou, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Carlito B. Labria. Telha Raymond, PhD in Horticulture and Agronomy, advised by Professor Bruce Lindquist. Ying Shang, PhD in Biochemistry, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, advised by Professor Carlito Labria. Jennifer Tena Mesa, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Carlito B. Labria. Angela Zhang, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, advised by Professor Shota Atsumi. Zhua Tao, California Teaching Credential Candidate. Zheyu Zhou, PhD in Nutritional Biology. Yihua Tsai, PhD in Molecular, Cellular, and Integrative Physiology, advised by Professor Pamela Lian. Tingwei Zhang, PhD in Biomedical Engineering. Harmanpreet Kaur, PhD in Immunology, advised by Professor Pamela J. Lian. Kenneth Lee, Master of Science in Statistics. Rachel Ingelskerger, Master of Arts in Education. Juan Jose Castillo, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Carlito B. Labria. Heather Kahale Healy, Master of Science in Forensic Science. Xingzhu Wu, PhD in Biological Systems Engineering, advised by Professor Zhang Li Pan. Heather Kahale Healy, Master of Science. Anna Lowe, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Jared Shaw. Lucas Souza, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Jared Shaw. Amara Pove, Master of Science in Pharmacology and Toxicology. Cynthia Loretto, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Beth Ann Hart, PhD in Sociology, advised by Professor Vicki Smith. Ted Schwaba, PhD in Psychology, advised by Professor Weibke Blydorn. Nina Cueva, Master of Advanced Study in Maternal and Child Nutrition. Heather Kahale Healy, Master of Science in Forensic Science. Xingzhu Wu, PhD in Biological Systems Engineering, advised by Professor Zhang Li Pan. Tamara Cristiani, Master of Science in Integrative Genetics and Genomics. Jean Yunying Ji, Master of Science in Agricultural and Resource Economics. Amy Teresa Merrill, PhD in Chemistry, advised by Professor Dean Tantillo.
Thank you to all of those who have joined us today for this wondrous occasion.